I get so much fatigue from when everyone's talking about something. That's when I look the other way every time. It's just my nature. So everyone's pounding the war drums and this, that, and the other, and I'm going, it's not gonna happen. Because just in my life, it seems to be whatever is the thing that everyone knows is the for sure thing that's going to happen is never the thing that happens. And it's always the outside event or something else that,
Yeah.
it never are people like, oh, everyone saw that like I shouldn't say never. In world events, people seem to be like, we never saw that coming. We didn't imagine it'd get to this level. We were surprised. And that's why you write stories and movies and books about it and stuff like that. Very rarely they're like, oh, everyone knew this was going to happen. Now, at the time, that's at the time. Now, when people go back in revisionist history and read all the information, they go, well, everyone should have seen this coming because you got all the pieces of
No.
information. Like that conversation we had or the feedback we got about the timeline, like in relation to what was the comment exactly?
Which one? The
About
Titanic.
like it had to do with the Titanic video and the timeline, like people back then knew this versus now.
So the clip was that the conspiracy said the Titanic and the Olympics switched.
Right.
And his response to that was, except they look different. The deck on top is different shape. Maybe some insurance adjuster from 1900 wouldn't know, but us today would know because we have the original blueprints and photos of both ships and we know they were never swapped.
Mm. Well, and so that leads into another thing. We had like another comment like that where the thing I'm always surprised about, the more I start talking about stuff and the more we look at history and how things have played out. Like if you talk to one US citizen, they'll describe how 2020 played out and rules and regulations and what people said. And you talk to another US citizen and they'll have a completely different perspective. I would argue one's more accurate than the other, but the point being is that like you're getting the information from those who won the information war at that time period. And you're being given the information. So how do you, with so much hubris and so much like confidence, go into a conversation saying this is factually, this is how it's known? It's not like a mathematical equation where everyone could sit down and do it and be like, oh yeah, okay, 2 plus 2 does equal 4. You're correct, I'm sorry. This is talking about an event that occurred nearly 100 years ago, and that was documented and well documented, well talked about on both aspects. But it's all just information you're being fed, and you're going, oh, from all the information that I was being fed, this event definitely occurred this way. It's like there's the key part you're neglecting. The information you're being fed is telling you definitively that this is the answer, and that's my whole point of these conversations. It's just like it's not necessarily a reflection of the events. It's a reflect on the events, but also put together the series that we talk about all the time is the idea of like the information that we're given, like who built the story of the event and the information that you read on both ends of the spectrum. The person who was for the current, the person who's convinced how the Titanic went, like it was Leonardo DiCaprio floating on that, and Rose floating on a board or whatever, versus the person who thinks that the Titan was the replacement for it. And so it's always good to talk about these things because it does spur other people who can add other information from one degree or another. Like that's the thing about these stories too. When people come to these absolute defense and try to shut down conversation like this gentleman did, you're in a weak position. Because if you're in a position of strength, you very easily go, oh, I understand that why you're saying that, but here's the information that we have. Boom, 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 boom.
Right.
And if you don't have a counterpoint to it, meaning the opposition person, then it's kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe this is correct. And then you bring more people to your side. But when you go to that position of, oh, I know it all, and this is how it is, and you're a moron for even talking about this, it's like, you clearly are in the weakest possible position, and you're just like posturing, like you're like a chihuahua, right? Like a chihuahua that gets aggressive because it's scared and it's small, and a bigger dog is like just minding its own business, and the chihuahua goes crazy and like or let's say, no disrespect to chihuahua. Let's say a smaller dog that becomes scared of a larger dog. The larger dog is just minding its own business. The smaller dog postures and barks and carries on. It's like that's how you look. You look like an internet version of a small dog, right?
I'm just
Of a scared dog.
I'm scared.
You don't look like now if you after barking and posturing, if you said, oh, here's a link to the information, or here's the, like the guy who talked about the deck shape being different. Here's the 2 blueprints. And now I know people just want to make a passing comment and don't want to put any effort into it. But the whole idea is like, hey, put some effort into it. We put effort into these conversations. We sit down, we do research, we read through these things, and we read both sides, and we go back and forth and play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
And then we take time to produce the videos and put it out there to inspire you to talk about and to get involved with. Not for you to act like you're the supreme chancellor of all information ever gathered in the world. And it's just amazing that people take that. Sorry, this is my big rant, but I'm amazed every time when I go into social media and see people who are experts. Like, oh, now they're a foreign war expert. Now they're a medical pharmaceutical expert. And then they speak with definitive, and they attack and try and shut down anyone who speaks from a position of like, oh, do we have enough information? Is it okay? Like, you question it. It's like, why are you questioning it? What are you, a medical expert? It's like, are you? Then why can we not ask a question? And even of a medical expert, they were trained. There was a point where they didn't know, and they don't know everything. Otherwise, they would shut down all research and labs and information. Why would we build AI? Why would we have research labs? Why would we have any of that? You'd shut it all down because we know everything already. That's not the case. Boom. There's my soapbox for the day.